Kim Kardashian and Kanye West's second baby name is what? Second baby's name is what?
Oh wait, okay. There's only one that I know the name of.
And which one is that?
And North.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Is that the answer?
That's not the answer for this one, but North is
South?
I think the most popular one. It's not South. No, they did not. They didn't go.
Wait, is it South by South?
No. That'd be funny though. South by Southwest.
I mean, they were already played the same joke with North.
Yeah. Any other ideas? I don't think you're gonna get it if you don't know it.
Like the thing is that the most shocking answer to this would be like a really normal name.
Right, like Steve.
So I'm gonna go like Trevor.
Nope. That's not the. It is Saint, spelled Saint.
Saint, yeah,
Saint.
Of course.
The other one, I think the newest kid's name is Chicago. For the record, it's just Chicago West.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm like that. That honestly is like the least obnoxious out of all the names. To be honest, Chicago West. I think
Chicago West.
Saint, North, Chicago, and Stormy. I could be
Stormy.
Wait, let me fact.
Anything that ends in a Y, I don't know. Just that's not like a very normal name.
Kanye
Sounds
West
like
kids,
a dog name.
I was completely wrong. It's straight up not. I don't know where I got Stormy from, but this kid's name is Psalm, spelled Psalm.
Oh, okay, like
Psalm
a Bible.
West. Yeah. So it's North, Psalm, Saint in Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, So Jeff, you are. I'm gonna go right off the bat here, based on my previous knowledge. You're in France.
Yes.
Boom. How has the last week been? Or what do you?
Can you guess the city?
I'm gonna say Paris.
No.
All right.
It's La Rochelle.
Okay. Where in France is that again?
That's on the west coast.
Okay.
So it's
nice.
on the coast that kind of is north of Spain.
Mm-hmm. That's a beautiful part of France.
Yeah, it's really pretty here. It's the whole city is made out of limestone, so everything is white.
Wow. Yeah. That's so. How did you get from where you were to here? Was that a stressful process?
From Kosovo.
Yeah, Kosovo.
Yeah, so it was because the day that I was flying is when the UN changed their recommendations to say that you shouldn't let in people from both the US and Kosovo. And I'm both of those. I was someone from the US in Kosovo.
You're the biggest threat, to be honest.
And
Florida.
And Florida, which is of places in the US is the worst. For COVID and probably many other things.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the thing about it was the EU recommendations. So the thing about those is that they're non-binding. So they pretty much tell all of the EU member states, hey, you probably shouldn't let these people in. Mm-hmm. But all of the countries make their own independent decisions.
Yeah.
So I think Italy was pretty proactive, and they pretty quickly were trying to make people from at least Kosovo quarantine.
Yeah.
But France did not do that, so it was okay. It was fine.
Nice.
And also, it was weird because I entered in through the Basel airport, which Basel, of course, is a Swiss place.
Right.
Did I mention this last time?
I don't think you did.
Okay, so the airport I flew into is technically the Basel airport, but it's in France.
Mm-hmm. That's on the other side, right? Or what
so it's because there's a French-Swiss border.
Gotcha.
And the airport is pretty much right on that border, but on the French side. Technically you're in France. Mm-hmm. So because of that, I needed the French health pass to do a domestic flight, which I did not have because I needed to either get tested or have like the sanitary pass, which the government refused to send me. Even though I was eligible, I had to email them all my documents, and it was really janky. I just did it in like a regular email to like the French government. I'm like, here's my passport and card, and it was just like email attachments in Gmail.
Dude.
And then they got back to me like yesterday saying like, yeah, so we have too many of these, so can you submit this other form? So they still haven't sent me it.
What a really clunky system.
Anyways,
I'll be honest.
Yeah, getting back to just flying in, I flew into Basel. I got through security, and then there's two arrows. One says France, and the one says Switzerland. And depending on which way you walk, you enter either one of the countries. So I could have just pulled an audible and went to Switzerland.
Yeah, been like, check that off the list.
Yeah,
I mean, you've been to Switzerland before, I assume.
I haven't been to Switzerland.
Really? So
yeah, so I could have. I thought about it for a second.
Yeah. Wow, that's really funny. That's crazy. I'm glad you made it safe, though. This whole week I've been on edge because I'm like, things are getting a little back to that sketchy lockdown side, and Jeff is in Kosovo.
So I'm back in France, which has the most strict COVID measures of like any country in the world.
Yeah. So
in terms of the sanitary pass, where you can't go into any restaurant, like straight up. I had a test because then when I got to like the French Swiss border, I'm now on the other side of the country.
Yeah.
So what I did was I took a like really long train because the trains in France are really good.
Yeah.
So I just took a really long train ride all the way across the country. But to do that, I needed the sanitary pass. So I got like the nasal swab test.
You're
of
negative.
course, it was negative, which was good.
Yeah.
And and I took a really long train. But you also need that pass to literally get in anywhere. So I went to a museum because that test lasted me 3 days.
Yeah.
So in those 3 days, I was able to go to a museum. I went to a McDonald's once. Even the McDonald's, you need the sanitary pass. Like there's a guy when you enter the McDonald's, there's a guy like with the scanner ready to scan your pass.
I feel like anything that happens in McDonald's is more detrimental to your health than
Yeah.
I'm kidding, of course. But yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I did not know it was that serious in France.
So to go pretty much to anything that's not like a grocery store or like an everyday kind of shop.
Yeah.
Anything that's kind of like a luxury thing to go to, you need the sanitary pass, which
right.
either means you need to be vaccinated or you need a negative test within those only like count for 3 days.
Wow.
So currently I'm not eligible to go anywhere here.
Damn. Not even.
I mean, I can still walk around outside.
What if
so
you
that's
want to
what
go
I did
home?
Today.
Like,
well, to go back to the U.S. also requires me to have a negative test anyways. So I just will do that. Because it's very easy to get a test here. You just go into like any pharmacy.
That's the only thing that I was like really worried about. I was like, what if you get like stuck in France?
Yeah, I mean, it could be worse.
It could be worse, yeah.
Could be stuck in Florida, am I right?
Right. Which yeah. Well, that's crazy. I'm glad you're enjoying life on the west coast of France.
Yeah, it's nice. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to be back because I don't have a flight yet. But
yeah.
I'm guessing maybe like another week or two, and then I'll probably make my way back to the U.S.
Yeah, get on over here. Enjoy some
and then
Chicago
I'll have to,
dogs.
you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to visit our good friend Brandon, who's currently in Atlanta.
Right. He's
because it's quite close to Florida.
He's doing amazing things from what I've heard.
Yeah,
he's really.
And then after that, yeah, he's doing well. And then I'm gonna have to go to Chicago and visit my good friend Jaxie.
I was waiting for it. I was like, is it gonna be Nahal? Is it gonna be Nick? But it's Jaxie. Yeah, of course. Well, that's
and
great.
Karsten.
And Karsten, yeah. Well, that's cool.
How's your week been?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm in Minnesota with my girlfriend, Cookie. We are going to go to the state fair after this recording. So if anyone's familiar,
okay, so that's why you wanted to go earlier. I see.
That is why I want to go earlier. The Minnesota State Fair, famously known as the Great Minnesota Get-Together. Well, first of all, not the event in these troubling times to be having. It was canceled last year, which was a big deal because you don't cancel the state fair, but it got canceled last year for obvious reasons. And this year they're doing it But like half the vendors have pulled out because they're just not comfortable with it. But we're going to go because I'm like, it's an outdoor event. And I'm like, if I have my mask on, I should be fine. And I'm not too worried as I'm, I guess being vaxxed doesn't give you the shield you thought it had. But that's where we're at. But I'm excited. I'm not too worried. I'm not going to let it ruin the fair. And that's what my day is looking like.
I mean, that's one of those things where it's like a risk tolerance thing where you're vaccinated, which means, of course, it's a very high protection. Because that's the thing. At the end of the day, it is like a numbers game where it's like how comfortable you are with the vaccine protects you a lot from getting like sick enough to have to go to a hospital.
Yeah.
And still like pretty good for just not getting it, period, but not like amazing.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where, I mean, like that's my trip is the same thing where I would have come back earlier, but since I'm fully vaccinated and I'm around only like young people where I didn't feel like I was putting other people at like super high risk as well.
Totally.
And, it's one of those things.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know when if it's going to go back into like lockdown territory.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I might as well enjoy the fair before.
Right.
And then, yeah.
That's honestly a motto you could probably put on like a shirt or something. Like,
I might as well enjoy the fair.
Yeah, it's like the world's on fire.
They have what I like about the fair is that they just have like insane foods. They have like deep fried Oreo and deep fried cookie dough, deep fried like pickles. I guess that's not a crazy thing.
Now,
but
are you going to be eating a deep fried Oreo tonight?
Absolutely, I will be.
Send me a photo of the deep fried Oreo.
My go-tos when I go to the fair, I got to get the cheese curds. Fantastic. They have really good mini donuts. They have the long corn dogs, right? That I will be consuming as well.
Just the instinctiveness of they have the long corn dogs.
They have the long corn dogs. Just know it's this long.
For anyone listening to the audio of this, Karsten is like doing jazz hands and stretching his arms out for the long corn dog.
They have tons of things. They have a big slide that I'll be going down, like a giant slide, and can't forget Sweet Martha's. It's like, we're talking a big slide.
in feet or meters.
I actually don't know the specifics. I would say it's like as big as a house in the suburbs, but a little bit bigger than that. It's like 2 stories, I would say.
Okay, so I'll say maybe 6 meters.
Yeah, let's go with that. It's pretty tall.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun.
I only use meters.
You can't forget
I've been in
Sweet
Europe
Martha's cookies. Yeah, that's
okay. So Sweet Martha's cookies, was that the thing that there was like on the internet? Some guy was like insulting them.
Yeah. Sweet Martha's cookies is like their most famous thing at the fair. They're kind of like a national. Yeah, people know about Sweet Martha's cookies. I don't know about what you're referring to.
So I think that I saw. I don't know if this was Sweet Martha's or it was a different fair, but it was some guy at a fair, and he was like some politician or something. I don't even really know, but he was rating the cookies, and he only gave them an 8 out of 10. Was that? I wonder if that was Sweet Martha's.
Wow, that sounds.
And then everyone was
familiar.
like, "What? These are the best cookies ever."
They are really good cookies. I don't think they're the best thing in the world, but they are pretty damn good. I'm gonna get myself a cone. What they do is they give you like a cone the way an ice cream cone is, and they just stack the cookies in, and they're really nice. Yeah.
It sounds good.
Yeah.
I absolutely cannot find the thing I'm referring to about some guy giving the cookies an 8 out of 10. Did I make that up?
You may have, yeah.
I might have made that up.
But yeah, that's kind of all I had to talk about in the intro today. There's not a lot of interesting stuff in the news that, I could find. But that's not the biggest deal. We can just hop right into the movie if you're cool with that.
I'm fine with that. I'm looking at these cookies now after searching to try to find the guy who gave them an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
And these cookies look amazing.
They're phenomenal. I'm so excited to have one of those cookies tonight on top of the deep fried Oreo.
Next year, I got to go to this fair with you.
Dude, we should record a podcast at the fair. That would be a really good idea.
That actually sounds like the best idea we've ever had.
The thing is, we might get kicked out like 5 minutes in because I think you have to pay a lot of money to have a booth of sorts at this event.
Okay,
Because
so
that's
here's what
the
we do.
whole-
We have like covert recording equipment where we just like hold
Yeah.
it in front of our face.
Yep. Yeah, we make
And
it kind of
also,
secret. We go on
I
a
think
roller
also-
coaster while we're.
Yeah, you remember the podcast but outside thing where
Yeah.
the technicality where they got out of being recording it at the park by saying the guy who was recording them with the camera wasn't with them.
That's really good.
Yeah, like the security came and asked them, and he's like, "You can't record here." He's like, "Oh, I'm not with them. I'm just recording them because it looks interesting." But it was like clearly their cameraman, and then the guy's like, "Okay, whatever."
That's really good. That's like one of my favorite podcasts. They're very good. We should get one of the hosts on the podcast, seeing as though he follows me and likes my tweets often. Just a humble brag, you know. Anyways, let's.
What if we recorded with them, but we were outside?
Yeah. we we should do that. Where anytime we get a guest on, we have to like adapt the podcast into what they're used to.
So wait, so say we had like Wyatt Olaf again. What would we do to it?
Dress up as clowns, and we're like, remember the movie you're in, right, Wyatt? The clown movie.
It's like, would you say that I'm it?
We're like, hey, Georgie. He's like, I don't play Georgie. We're like, hey, Georgie, you wanna? I don't know.
How fast do you think that he would have left? He would have recording.
He would have like given a really uncomfortable laugh and then just kind of been like, all right, I don't know if I'm interested.
Actually, yeah, I gotta go.
He's like, oh, I gotta go, guys. I just got a call, and we're just left, both of us in clown makeup, just like, okay, we record an episode anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
All right. Well, that kind of sounds good.
Yeah.
We'll have to think about that.
Definitely. It's not our worst idea.
Yeah. Anyways.
Wait. Okay, sorry. Let's talk about the movie today, The Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
This is a let me pull up the thing because I didn't have it pulled up. This is a 2021 movie directed by James Gunn. It is about, the synopsis is, the government sends the most dangerous supervillains in the world, Bloodsport, Peacemaker, King Shark, Harley Quinn, and others, to the remote enemy-infused island of Corto Maltese. Armed with high-tech weapons, they trek through the dangerous jungle on a search and destroy mission with only Colonel Rick Flag on the ground to make them behave.
That's a pretty good synopsis.
It's a pretty good synopsis. It gets right to the point.
And also, I like how it like adds to, if you were reading that synopsis to see if you wanted to watch the film, it like adds to it where it like leaves you with a cliffhanger.
Yeah. I definitely want to watch this movie after reading that synopsis.
Yeah.
And thank God I did.
I was about to say I would have, except I've seen it, so now I don't feel that need.
Exactly. But I'm really curious to hear what the people of Google have to say about this movie. I have a few that I found. This one comes from this is 2 stars from Yufei Z, and it reads, no need many bloods, no need many exaggerated scenes. Whatever that means.
So I'm guessing they didn't like how graphic the violence was.
No, yeah, they didn't like the bloods,
and also
bloods.
It had too many scenes.
Yeah, exaggerated scenes.
Yeah. So wait. They're mad that the scenes in a superhero movie that has tons of CGI was exaggerated.
Yeah. This one doesn't make any sense. It's you know what? I misread it the first time, but it actually doesn't make any more sense. This one comes from Adolfo Reyes, and it is the movie not this very good, this bury. I thought it said blurry at first, and I was like, I can sort of see what they're going for, but Burry, I have no idea what that means.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Did you post for the last one for The Mummy, did you post the review on Letterboxd?
I said I love to watch the movie on Letterboxd. Yeah.
Okay. Did we check the update of like how well that's doing?
That's the top review for The Mummy. Because I bet you it is. It's not. Damn.
It's not.
Your review is actually higher than mine. Yours
No way.
Mine's nowhere to be seen. I don't know if that's.
Did they maybe they got mad at you?
I will be honest, I think Letterboxd has started to monitor my reviews, and they're like, people are so mad that this guy and now I'm not.
Where is yours?
Yours is.
What did they do to yours?
I'm being silenced.
I think you're being silenced
I
by
know.
Letterboxd.
Nobody knows that I love to watch the movie anymore.
Yeah. Okay, yours has 857 likes.
I know. I don't know what happened.
Wait, what? Where is it? Yours has so it would be number 2, I believe.
Yeah,
it would have been number 2, but they're silencing you.
They're silencing me. Yeah.
I will not stand for this. This censorship of Karsten Runquist.
Yeah,
he's just trying to let people know that he loves to watch the movie.
I love watch the movie. What's wrong with that? There's nothing offensive about that. I love watch the movie.
What if your every review was I love to watch the movie and they were all the number 1 reviews for every film?
My username's like movie lover or something. Movie watch lover. I love watch the movie. I just love distorting this sentence as much as possible.
Yeah.
So it's just not coherent.
I love movie watch.
I love movie watch too.
I watch movie.
I watch to love movie. This next one is from Gus Perla, also 2 stars, and it movie was fantastically entertaining, but definitely didn't need nudity to get there. With 2 stars.
Wait, okay, so they clearly liked the
They
movie.
loved this movie, yeah.
So and just being conservative.
Right.
Let's say this person thought this was a 4-star movie.
Yeah.
They took it down 2 whole stars because there was nudity.
There was nudity in it. Deadly. They're talking about the weasel and the brief nudity you see with him. And this last one that I found is from, let's see, where is it? Oh, this one's from Natsu Kond, and laughing, crying emoji, laughing, crying emoji, laughing, crying emoji. What did I just watch? With 3 question marks. And then it goes, plot holes galore, goofy costumes. Where's SpongeBob? And then another laughing, crying emoji.
Did this person think this was a
SpongeBob movie? Yeah.
Did they think this was the SpongeBob Squad?
The Suicide Sponge.
Think there was like the SpongeBob Squad.
Yeah. The Squidward Squad.
That actually would be a really good that title intrigues me for a SpongeBob movie.
Totally. That's the one like SpongeBob spinoff I'd for sure watch, the SpongeBob, the Squidward Squad.
Yeah. I mean, I think realistically you would watch any SpongeBob spinoff at least to make a video about it.
Yeah. Well, that's not true actually, because there's 2 SpongeBob spinoffs happening right now at the same time that I have not watched because they look god awful. Yeah. There's one. Yeah. Well, first of all, did you know that Patrick Star got his own show?
No.
Called The Patrick Star Show. And I think it's like an animated talk show, like a late night thing, but animated.
That does not
hosted
sound
by.
good.
I could be wrong, but I'm like 90% sure.
Are they? Did you ever see Space Ghost?
No.
Coast to Coast.
That is. No.
So that was Space Ghost, like the character from like the 60s or something. It was an animated talk show from the 90s starring Space Ghost. That was on Adult Swim called Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Oh, okay.
It was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I think I vaguely
they're
remember.
trying to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, the synopsis for this one is Patrick Star hosts his very own talk show with the support of his family. It doesn't look good.
Wait, so his family's in the show?
Yeah, it's called the Patrick Star Show. He's got his family.
Oh, okay.
In there, Grand Pat Star is one of the names. Cecil Star is the other one.
That's terrible.
Okay.
Right.
Back to the movie.
Okay, the Suicide Squad. Now, I have never seen the one from 2016, which I guess is just called Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
It's not the Suicide Squad.
Right. Neither have I, for the record. So
yeah, I heard it wasn't that good.
I heard it was it's famously one of the worst movies of the decade. Like, people fucking hate that movie a lot.
Was that the one where Jared Leto sent the other people on the show his own poop in a bag or something?
Yeah. He did that as method acting.
Yeah. So wait, so we did it as method acting for a movie that was really bad.
Yeah. It's funny because what's his name? Heath Ledger won the Oscar for his portrayal of the Joker, and then next in line was Jared Leto, who did all this shit literally, and then didn't win, and then next Joaquin Phoenix portrayed the Joker and won an Oscar again. Yeah. So it's just. I think it's so funny that he didn't get anything for this role. In fact, I think they're talking. He was supposed to play the Joker again for some reason, but I think they're trying to stop that from happening. I'm not really entirely caught up on the Joker news.
On the Jared Leto news.
Yeah. But
do you think that there's people that are just dedicated Joker news? Because there's all these Spider-Man news.
Yeah.
I guess there has to be, right? People who just love the Joker so much that they just post everything of Joker news.
Yeah. Joker. Wait, not to go off on another tangent, but I kind of want to search Joker news on Twitter just to see if there's.
That seems like a really good idea for a parody. If there was it a good idea for a parody account?
Joker news. There's no Joker news account.
Should I make a Joker news account and then I just post all the Joker news?
Yeah. There's no Joker news at all. Wait, Joker news on Google. Yeah, there's no publication dedicated to updating us on Joker and what he's doing.
Yeah.
But
I try to pretend that in the next Joker 2 they're doing what people are saying with the new Spider-Man, where they're going to bring all the Jokers together.
Yeah.
I'm it's going to be Jared Leto and Joaquin Phoenix together.
Yeah.
They're both Jokers. That wouldn't make any sense.
It wouldn't make any sense,
canon-wise, would it?
No. I'm so confused on the Joker canon, because it's I don't know what Suicide Squad has to do with the new Joker.
Yeah, it's a great question. Do you think that they're just trying to pretend the last Suicide Squad didn't happen?
Pretty much, yeah. The whole point of this one being made was, I think, to give that story another chance or some shit. I don't know if this is a sequel or a remake. I really don't know.
It's a remake.
Okay. Because we probably should have researched this beforehand. But we'll try talking about it anyway. What did you think of the movie, I guess, Jeff?
Well, how many... Because obviously it's kind of weird that DC, I'm not someone who's really a Marvel superhero into all these films in the way that a lot of people are huge fans.
Yeah.
But I've always found that DC movies against Marvel were really bad at. They were trying to make the film feel like a comic book.
Yeah.
More so than Marvel, which was really playing into the cinematic element of an audience watching.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does for sure. I think DC, they're trying really hard, is kind of the point.
Yeah, and it feels like it.
Yeah.
So I think bringing James Gunn in to direct this one was a smart idea.
Yeah.
Because it seems like what they asked from James Gunn was make this feel like Guardians of the Galaxy, but with DC people in it.
Yeah. Right.
And I think that they accomplished that.
Totally. It's funny because, well, actually, never mind. I got this mixed up. I was looking up who directed the first Suicide Squad, and it was David Ayer, who did Bright on Netflix, I'm pretty sure.
That's the Will Smith one that I didn't watch?
Yeah. So,
okay.
That was supposed to be really bad as well. Anyways, yeah, I think, like, this is getting somewhere. But the thing is, did you watch Aquaman, Jeff?
No, I didn't.
So that's another DC movie that came out a few years ago, and everyone immediately, like, shat on it because they were like, this sucks. This is, like, dumb.
Yeah.
But I liked that movie more than this, and I think that got more at, like, the fun, stupid action comic book movie than this did, because I feel like this was kind of exactly like what you just described, as it was like trying really hard and getting nowhere, for me at least. Like, I know that's why I was like very much not wanting to talk about this, because I didn't like the first half that I saw, and then I had to like go do something and I had to pause it, and I just recently finished it, and I was just like, this isn't for me. I don't know if this movie's my thing.
Again, I honestly, I agree with that, in that I don't see why you would ever, even with how many Marvel films are that are usually at least entertaining in that aspect, right? Where it's like, it feels like a fun superhero time where you're just like, here's some popcorn, time to watch Iron Man blast someone with his laser suit. I don't get why you'd even want to get involved with like the DC universe unless you have tons of extra time to have two universes. Because I'm like, if you're gonna watch a superhero movie, I would just watch a Marvel one.
Right, yeah. Exactly.
Because they all intertwine, so it's like too hard to keep track of all of this.
Totally. I think Marvel at least like does a good job at pretending not to like humanize Marvel. It's not like one person making those movies, especially because James Gunn literally made Marvel movies. But I'm like, for some reason, those movies like feel like they can at least pretend, like make you pretend to care about the characters. They at least like pretend like this matters, and that makes it a little bit compelling to watch. And that's especially the case with Guardians of the Galaxy. I was like, I guess I care about these people, and it does enough to feel like there's stakes. But for this movie, I just was like, who cares? These people are like, they suck, and the movie knows that they suck, and it doesn't do anything to, I don't know, give us anything to care about.
Yeah, I agree. Where they both feel like they're roller coasters, but one is like a roller coaster that's like has a theme that you like, and one just like straight up just a roller coaster.
That's a really good way of putting it, actually.
You know, so because I'm from Florida, so I'm very well versed in theme parks.
Yeah.
Did you do that to try to block
I don't know what's dude, I'm really like my face is really
Karsten's
blown
like
out.
very blown out, but honestly, he looks tremendous.
I don't agree at all, but anyways.
So like Universal Studios, and also like here north of Chicago, like Six Flags, they kind of just have tons of roller coasters, and it's like you stand in line and then you get on the roller coaster. Yeah. Where Disney, all the lines have these really elaborate like facades and things you walk through, and like story elements. Yeah. You know, where like the Marvel films are like that, where it's like, oh, there's something to like look at while you're going through this roller coaster experience.
Yep. Totally.
And
even Niagara Falls, when I went, they had like a whole, because I did the thing where you go out on like the little red bridge and get a raincoat on, and you're like right next to the falls.
And you jump in the barrel and then go over the falls.
No, I didn't do that.
You should have.
I don't think
started
that's
like a rumor that you did that.
Yeah. Damn, missed opportunity. I'm gonna like pretend like I'm reviewing that on Twitter, I think, after this. And be like, did the barrel ride at the falls? Surprisingly disappointed.
Didn't break any bones.
Didn't break a single bone. Barrel stayed intact. Barrel did not break. The falls were out. It was dry.
It was dry.
But yeah, I do think like this is just strictly, it wants to be like this just fun, edgy We'll talk about that. Like
Yes.
comic book thing that's like so bloody and crazy. But I'm like, none of that matters if you're not gonna like give us something around that to care about, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now, there was, because you said you watched like kind of this in parts.
Just two parts, yeah.
Yeah. So it's 2 hours 20. Is that right?
Yeah.
About 80 minutes in, it felt like the movie was about to end
Yeah.
for me. And then I'm like, okay, so there's probably like 30 minutes left. And I'm like, there's an hour left.
Yeah. That is the other thing. Not to just get into nitty gritty technical stuff, but like the pacing of this movie is dog shit. It is like not edited at all. I feel like what they did was they like, and I feel like this is what most people do for features. I've never edited a feature, but they edited each scene individually and did those each in like separate sequences and didn't really like think about the overall pace of the film in the process of that. And as a result, you get just like a mess where some things are taking way longer than others and they don't feels like someone, like a different person edited each scene. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. I also have one other point real quick that I want to make. The false, like, it's not really a cold open necessarily. It kind of is.
Yeah.
Where they introduce you to like this fake team. I mean, it's a different team that the one that, of course, this happens in the first couple minutes of the film where it's like they introduce you to the whole team, but it's actually not the team you're going to be following for the majority of the film.
Right. That whole thing.
The thing is, right, I actually didn't care about the actual team that you follow any more than this first team.
Exactly.
Because that's the thing that blew my mind. I'm like, okay, so it's like, haha, good joke. And it's like, here's the new people.
Yeah.
And I did not care about them more than the first team. Honestly, the first team seemed more interesting, and I wish the movie was about the first team.
100%. I was like, literally within the first like 10 minutes of this movie, I was like, this is cool. These guys, I can watch a whole movie with these guys, and then they die, and I was just like, what the fuck?
I'm like, I was actually like, Pete Davidson as a superhero. That's actually a very interesting idea.
And his name is Dick Hertz.
Yeah. And then also the arm guy, the guy with the like the detachable kid.
Mm-hmm.
That was like a funny concept that you could have explored more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the guy from The Walking Dead who they gave like super long blonde hair.
Yeah. I'm just like, they were all a million times more interesting. And Weasel.
Yeah.
I'm just like, they were cool.
I want to see Weasel do some stuff. Okay, also Weasel very clearly was modeled after those like bad taxidermy things. Have you seen?
Yeah.
That's clearly. Like, I can imagine James Gunn sitting there and be like, we should make him look like this bad taxidermy.
Yeah.
Photo. You know the fox like sitting in a chair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look where he's like 100. Yeah. He was terrifying. Weasel was the only part of this movie where I was like, okay, that's like a little unnerving to look at.
Yeah.
But the rest of this is so, let's talk about like the edginess, because it's so cringy in my opinion how hard this movie is trying to be like bad and I don't know. Just didn't work for me at all in my opinion.
Yeah, when you have that concept of the Suicide Squad where it's supposed to be like edgy and like anything with Harley Quinn in it has to be like, oh, like we're all rebels.
Yeah.
Like we're bad. I don't know. It's gonna be forced. I think it
totally
would be a huge accomplishment to make that feel like a natural thing and not just like, because the edginess comes from like, look, they have tattoos.
Yeah, I didn't like I watched the Harley Quinn movie last year too, and also didn't like that for basically the exact same reasons, where I'm like, it's throwing like all these like crazy colors and sometimes like this old school like cartoon thing into the back action, and I'm like, I get that that's her thing. I was like, this would make for a really cool video game, but not a movie. I'm like, it looks nice, but just doesn't work at all for how long I'm committing to this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So What did you think of Idris Elba?
I actually thought Idris Elba was like an okay actor. Just,
Yeah.
I mean, what did you think of Idris Elba?
I thought, I mean, obviously he's supposed to be like the protagonist in this film.
Yeah.
But I thought he was kind of, I don't know. That's why I was wondering what you thought. So I didn't know how I felt. I'm like, I didn't really care about him as much as I was supposed to.
He was boring. He was really boring. I was like, it was just weird because I thought he was boring. I thought John Cena. I'm like, okay, his whole thing is he wears a kind of goofy outfit from a different time, and he's also not that interesting.
Yeah, and I'm like, there's supposed to be this rivalry between the two, and I'm like, I literally don't favor either one of them. I don't care.
I thought the Polka Dot Man, off the bat, I was like, he's probably the most interesting out of these characters, but I'm also like, he can't carry anything. He's not strong enough.
No, he's the comic relief.
Yeah.
Straight up.
And I don't know. What's the last person's name? I forget.
There was the shark.
The shark. Well, the shark, yeah. The shark was just another version of... Did you ever see Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yes, I did. Yes.
He was just... What's his name?
Groot.
Drax. Well, or Groot, yeah.
I thought he was Groot.
He could be Groot, too. That actually makes more sense that he's Groot.
It's just like the dumb big guy.
Big guy, yeah. I don't know. I'm just like... I feel like we've seen this movie a lot before. Specifically Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm like, if I wanted to watch a movie about this, I would watch Guardians of the Galaxy. Or I would watch a better movie that's like...
And also, it feels... like Guardians of the Galaxy feels bigger. The characters are more well-defined and likable.
Totally, yeah.
You know, I mean... That's Chris Pratt's literal entire reason for existing is that he's like charismatic and likable.
Right. I don't think John Cena's there. Or Idris Elba for that matter.
No.
You're right.
That's why that's why you bring in The Rock.
That's right. That's funny. James Gunn has worked with 2 wrestlers now. John Cena and Dave. I'm just gonna call him Dave.
Has he worked with The Rock?
I don't think so, unless I'm wrong. He worked on Scooby-Doo.
You know, The Rock was not in Scooby-Doo.
No, but let's make that very clear. Yeah, I don't think he's worked with The Rock. Anyways.
What's the Belko experiment? Have you heard of that?
No. What is it?
It's something he wrote and produced in 2016.
Oh.
Let's not even
go down
with
that. Yeah.
Like he wrote both Scooby-Doo and Scooby-Doo 2.
Wow. And those are pretty good movies. Those are not bad.
Scooby-Doo and Scooby-Doo 2?
Yeah. I mean,
I like them. I own both of them on Blu-ray.
Yeah. There, you said it. Yeah. I'm just amazed that James Gunn has made it this far in the industry. Not to say he's like a bad writer or a bad director, but he's very much has like this childish thing about him that I get is like his appeal. But I'm just like, at this point in his career, considering like how I guess influential that was with Guardians of the Galaxy, with like Deadpool 2, I'm just like, the whole self-aware superhero blockbuster movie that is edgy and different is like not that fun to watch anymore. Yeah, I'm like, you made the most normal superhero movie. I hope you know this. Yeah. Because like, it's not, I'd much rather, that's what's crazy is they've pushed that so hard to where it's like, I would rather watch like Captain America or something. Because I'm like, at least that I'm like, this is cool.
At least it doesn't feel like the characters are about to turn and say something to the camera.
Right, yeah. It takes itself like a little bit seriously.
Yeah. Like where this like it felt like at any moment they could break the fourth wall.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I'm glad. I was like, I mean, it wouldn't. I was just curious of what you thought of it because I was like, just knowing my friend group, I feel like we wouldn't like this because I was like, it's just not our thing.
Yeah, I will say I do, understand that the goal of this is, of course, different than the goal
100%
of many other films. Yeah. Right? The goal of this is for as many people to be entertained by it as possible.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to learn anything.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to feel anything other than what the movie is telling you to feel.
Right.
You know, and that's fine, right? Like, I think that's, some people are like, say Marvel movies are like trash, but no, they're just a different type of art, right? It's like a mass entertainment thing. So I think I didn't hate this. I'll say that. I thought this movie was an okay superhero movie. I didn't think it was good.
Yeah.
But I thought it was fine. I was entertained enough. In the middle, it definitely dragged a bit for me.
Yeah.
Like it was like right at that like 80-minute mark where I'm like, okay, this feels like stuff's already kind of happened, and then it's like a whole hour more. But at the end of the day, I thought it was a fine superhero movie. I didn't think it was like doing anything new or interesting.
Totally.
I thought the characters were very bland. I think if the characters were interesting, the movie would have been much better.
If this movie was with like those first few characters, I agree. This would have been a different experience.
Like if Pete Davidson was in this whole thing having to talk to a weasel.
Yeah.
That looks like a taxidermied weasel.
Dude, and that's what I don't get. I feel like it would have been funnier if the movie started with the group we do end up with, because they feel like movie characters, and it would have been a funnier.
They're expendable.
Yeah. It would have been funnier if they like killed them off and then introduced like Dick Hertz and
crazy
the Weasel.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's funny.
So much of a better joke. And that's something where that's actually edgy, and that's not what James Gunn does. James Gunn does this like fake edgy that actually is playing it safe, but feels like it's going to be edgy, but it's not actually edgy.
100%. Yeah.
Where this would have been edgy, making a film, the superhero film, starring like the creepiest looking weasel possible.
Killing off John Cena in the first
killing
10
off
minutes.
John Cena and Idris Elba.
That would have been so funny.
Right?
But he kills off like not big stars. And I'm just like, I don't know. Yeah. Not to say Pete Davidson and everyone else involved isn't a big star, but
but I don't know. I completely agree. I think we're on the same page that we would have rather seen the movie that would have happened if the first team was the actual team.
Right. Yeah. So what are we feeling for a score on this one?
You go first.
Well, I gave it a 2, which I think is pretty low. I understand if yours is higher. Like that's the thing. It's like I'm like if people had a good time with this, which it seems to be a lot of people, I'm like I wish that was me, because I really wanted to have fun with it and just didn't. And that's why I think I gave it a 2.
Yeah, I think the thing is that I was in between 2.5 and 3.
Right. Yeah.
Where I had an okay time with it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was fine.
It's fine.
I'll go 3.
Understood.
Definitely not any higher than that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I had an okay time with it.
Yeah.
But I thought that the ingredients were there for this to have been much better.
Yeah. You like the Guardians of the Galaxy more than this?
Yes.
Totally.
Yes.
You should watch Aquaman, because I think that is pretty fun.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Might have to.
Let's move into questions. Actually, my mom just asked if I wanted Jimmy John's, so I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah. What's your Jimmy John's order?
I get the Pepe, light lettuce, no tomato.
Yeah.
Not a tomato fan.
The most boring Jimmy John's order possible.
Yeah. Don't tell me it's like the slim one or something.
No.
It's Slim 6.
No, it's actually more boring. I get a BLT with no mayo.
That's a sandwich. That's just a straight up sandwich.
It's a pure BLT.
Wow.
It's just you get
bacon,
some bread,
lettuce, tomato.
You have bacon and bacon.
Bacon. Yeah, can I get some bacon on this?
I'm like, oh, sorry, I was just in France. That's French for bacon.
Bacchus. Bacchus. Yeah.
That's not French for bacon.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Then lettuce, tomato. You got a sandwich.
Yeah.
Then you eat it. Because the thing is, you're trying to really emphasize the bread, because they have the best bread of like sandwich places.
This is almost true. Now, I'm going to sound like a freak here, but Have you heard of Herberts and Gerberts?
What?
I think they're a Midwest chain.
Herberts and Gerbers.
Yeah, Ebes and Geebs for
Yeah,
short.
I don't.
They do this thing where they slice out like the inner filling of the bread to make more room for toppings, and they serve that like strictly fluff on the outside so that like you have a snack, and it's just like the soft part of the bread that you can like snack.
So
on
okay,
while
that's
eating
the thing in Jimmy John's that annoys me.
It's too much
They
bread.
scoop out the soft part and they just chuck it
They
in
chuck
the trash.
it away. Yeah, but I'm like,
why
use that
wouldn't you
soft
save
part
that for some-
as a snack. Yeah,
I would like the soft part. Mm-hmm. Just hand it to me.
yeah.
I will eat
Give
that
me
in
that.
front of you.
Give me it.
Yeah. All right. So my computer's about to die, so I'm gonna plug
Oh
it in real
no.
quick.
Okay. If we lose Jeff,
Yeah.
then that's that. I'm gonna figure out this Jimmy John's order. Well, actually, no. I can't. I don't want to edit.
Talk people through it.
I'm gonna keep this. Yeah. Well, I usually get the Pepe. I'm gonna. Would you want some Jimmy John's? Jimmy John's. I'm not even gonna correct that. Anyways, while Jeff looks for this, let's pull up the subreddit. We do have some questions today from r/Karstcast. I will say we're running a little low on questions, and so if you guys have things you want to ask us, I'm sure you just are, biting at the chain or whatever to get our answers.
Chomping at the bit.
Chomping at the bit, yeah. And Jeff's back.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah, head on over to r/Karstcast to ask us some questions. We do have these, though. This first one comes from Educational Bowl 186, and it's, what's y'all's thoughts on the band Beach House? Do you listen to Beach House, Jeff, or no?
I have been known to listen to some Beach House. Now, Beach House is one of those bands where, I listen to songs sometimes, but I've never listened to an entire album.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, how do you feel about Beach House?
I like Beach House. I'm kind of in the same boat where it's like I have one Beach House album that I really love, and it's Depression Cherry. It's the one that's all red, and the vinyl for that, which I got for Christmas, is like velvet, and you can just feel the fuzz, and it's the best thing I own. And that album I listen to all the time because I have it on vinyl, and it's just a nice record to put on. Have not listened to any of their other albums, so that's the kind of band they are for me. But they're good. They're good.
That's actually pretty funny that you own on vinyl one of
their albums,
and do not listen to any of the other albums.
I've listened to like songs from each one, but similar to you, have not listened to the entirety because they're just like they're very slow, like kind of airy band. I'm not always in the mood for that,
Yeah, I listen to the song Lazuli will pop up.
Yeah,
for me on my on Spotify. It's like, hey, you should listen to this. I'm like, I'll do that.
Why not? This next one comes from Straight View 5102, and it's, if you both had a fight, who would win?
Karsten.
I don't even. Are you? I will ask you this, Jeff. Have you ever gotten in a fight before?
No.
Neither have I.
No. Now, again, this is one of those things where I think we may have briefly mentioned 50 episodes ago or something. But I did get into, I think, what was classified by my middle school as a fight once. I touched this one kid's keyboard.
That's how it always starts.
And he backhand slapped me in the stomach.
Oh my god.
And it was very hard, and I
knocked the wind.
Lost he knocked the wind out of me, and then he got sent to Sunday school, and I got sent to detention.
What the hell? For getting hurt?
Yeah, for touching his keyboard.
That's really dumb.
I don't know, man. So I went to detention once in my life, and it was because I touched this kid's keyboard. He hit me.
That sucks. I in elementary school called a kid a Barbie or something, and he really gave it to me. He chased me around the playground for a while, and then pushed me on the ground and started kicking me a lot. And they sent me for the principal's office too. And they were like, "What did you do?" And I was like, "Listen, this kid needs anger management."
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he got in trouble, but I haven't actually I haven't gotten in a fight since then.
Yeah.
Usually,
so now
I get along
we have
with people.
both of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Many
and luckily,
internet
I don't think we would
fights.
ever get in a fight.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah,
don't
you
think
get
we would.
well. People, kind of come after you on the internet.
Yeah, but that comes with the job, It's part of the role.
Yeah, they say, Karsten, you're only very cool, not
Exactly.
super cool.
Exactly.
So then you're like, no, I'm super cool.
Yeah. I like the internet
Yeah.
because, if someone says something very mean to me, I will just block them, and I just won the fight, That's,
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you don't get to look at my shit anymore.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is...
Well, okay, anyways, back to this question. Because we have our histories of fighting. Now we just kind of catalog that for everyone.
I will say...
Who would win?
You're taller is the thing. You have more...
I have the reach advantage.
You have the reach. I have small hands.
I have small hands as well.
I'm just
we probably have the same size
I've
hands.
never...
My hands are very small.
I don't punch ever. I've never had a reason. I don't even know, the correct form.
Yeah, all I know is when you punch, you're supposed to punch through.
Okay.
You punch through, the whatever you're punching. That I don't really know what that means.
Yeah. I should get into, boxing. Not people,
well,
but
I would say...
Anyways.
Yeah. After your first day of boxing, you'll definitely be able to beat me up.
Definitely. Yeah. So
unless I take up boxing first.
I will say I think I would win.
I think you would win too.
I just have swimming. I guess I have.
Yeah, you have some muscles.
I got bony hands. Everyone does.
Yeah, I don't have muscles.
You would, yeah. You'd beat me in basketball.
I just have
I will say you'd slaughter me in
Yeah,
basketball.
Yeah, I would have to definitely try to drive the net
Mm-hmm.
because I cannot shoot from more than about. I'm automatic from within 14 feet, but anything further out, I cannot shoot at all.
Damn.
Anything where you have to really jump, I can't shoot.
Yeah. Neither. I mean, I can't do anything in basketball. I was really good at that game Horse when I was a kid, but
Yeah.
any other than that, not very good.
I think we actually are good at different sports.
Mm-hmm.
So if there was some thing where we had to be a team and compete in different
Right.
sports, we'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
Because I'm okay, I guess, at basketball on average. I'm
Right.
pretty good at soccer. Mm-hmm. You're good at swimming.
If you're good at running or biking, we could form a triathlon team.
Yeah. I'm good at running in a straight line, in a short distance. I'm good at sprinting. I
Yeah.
guess.
You can do the sprints. Okay.
Yeah, I have the Usain Bolt's physique.
Right. I wouldn't go that far, but yeah. I don't know about that.
We've established you're good at boxing.
Yeah. Well, I would be if I played it.
So in this hypothetical sporting competition, we put you up for the boxing.
Yeah.
I'm just on the cycle go Karsten. You just get the crap beat out of you.
Yeah. Let me text here. I'll let you answer this question while I figure out this Jimmy John's order.
Perfect.
This one comes from refrigerator OK4635, and it's I'm going into 10th grade, and I probably want to go to film school. How should I get started with my resume?
That's actually a really good question.
Yeah.
So going into 10th grade, so that means you still have 10th, 11th, 12th grade.
Yep.
Before you go to film school. You definitely should see if your high school, obviously I'm sure you have done this, but if your high school has some kind of film club or something, and do that. But if not, you should probably try to make some short films.
Yeah.
And not even necessarily any budget or anything, but just you should get a camera that's at least a detachable lens camera.
Yeah. If you have a phone,
you
can do something.
Yeah, you can do that as well.
Because listen, I don't think a lot of film schools are expecting you to shoot stuff on what is it, an Alexa or anything.
Right. Yeah.
They're just kind of trying to see what you what your ideas are, like what you
Yeah.
have, like just bare minimum stuff. And honestly, like a lot of film school, like, well, this isn't true. Resume is important, but yeah. Also, pay attention to the essays, though. I feel like those matter a lot as well, from my experience.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Because I mean, I went to film school. I didn't do film before. My undergraduate degree's in anthropology.
yeah,
So I went to film for my master's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not really a lot of related subject matter.
Yeah.
Between those two.
yeah,
Yeah, but I think like if you already know that's what you want to do this early, yeah, you just start kind of trying to learn as much as possible about filmmaking.
yeah,
And then either, with a phone, if that's all you have, or if you can get your hands on some kind of, like DSLR or like mirrorless camera, just start kind of learning how to like compose shots, shoot stuff, with your friends.
Don't shoot anything with this webcam that I have, because it'll.
Yeah, don't shoot anything with this webcam. It's gonna be super
blow
blown
you
out. It's gonna blow you right out. It's gonna blow you out of the water.
Yeah. So yeah, honestly, Jeff put it pretty nicely. I can't really expand on that. I think my experience is like I just shot as many. I set myself up this own personal project in high school, 11th grade, where I was like, I'm gonna make one small short film a month with my friends, and we ended up doing that. We made 12 little short films, a lot of which were ass, but there were like some cool ones in there every now and then, and I like learned a lot about just like putting together shots and editing and filming things in the process.
Yeah.
And I think, I'm not saying do that exact thing, but like just mess around with a camera.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
this really is, like we were saying, it's the time to mess around and like try to make some stuff.
Yeah.
It's like no pressure. You don't even need to like really make stuff before you go into your undergraduate studies. So anything you do now is just a bonus. Like, don't think that you have to make like a short film that gets into like a festival or anything.
Yeah.
Right now, it's just learning how to shoot stuff, get it on your computer into like a editing timeline.
Yeah.
Then then you realize that you're supposed to edit shots way earlier than you think you should.
Yeah. You'll
That's always the first ones. You're like, you show someone like the first thing you ever edit, and they're like, "Why is this shot already running? Like, what's happening here?" Yeah, you just cut into shots way later than you think. That's the one tip you'll definitely learn pretty early on.
Yeah. But cool. That does it for questions for today. Next, we'd like to head into the wrap-up. And, Jeff, do you have any ideas for movies to watch?
You know what? I don't at all.
Okay, there's a movie that I think could be really fun to talk about. Maybe. Yeah.
Now, last time you said that, the movie was Raw. And I hated that.
Would you be open to a musical?
I could be persuaded.
It's a weird musical called Annette, and it is on Prime. It's really weird. It's like probably like one of the weirdest movies I've seen, but like I think it's pretty fun and could be really fun to talk about at least.
I'm down.
It's got Adam Driver in it. Simon Helberg from The Big Bang Theory is in it. Yeah, I think it'd be a lot of fun to talk about personally.
Yeah.
The only thing is that it's like kind of long. It's like 2 hours and 20 minutes, but it's.
I mean, so was this.
So is this, yeah. So there you have it. Next week we're watching Annette.
Annette.
It's on Amazon Prime, and I actually recommend all of you watch it.
Yeah, sorry.
That's it.
There you go. Just to be clear, it's Annette the name, not Annette.
And yeah.
Yeah, so anyone typing like thinking it's about something called an et, that's incorrect.
True.
It's about the name Annette.
True. Okay, let's read a review. These come from Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts too. I guess apparently people can leave reviews on there. But do you mind
if they like the ones for the movie? It's like the 2 stars, more picturization, please.
Could do without the nudity. We're like, what? This one, do you mind if we read a negative one? Or
Yeah.
actually, why
Wait,
would
is it
we
negative
do that?
about me specifically?
No, but it's negative about both of us, I think. Let's okay, yeah. This one comes from a button smash. It's just a $, blah 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 blah. Subject line is spelled EH, 2-star review, and it reads, I enjoy the movie talk in this podcast, which is a shocker in my opinion. The only problem is I really thought this was going to be a critique of the movie talk, but the only problem is I have to listen through extended periods of conversations and inside jokes between the hosts before they actually discuss the movie that I am interested in hearing their take on. Maybe at least give us a timestamp in the episode description for when the discussion actually moves to the movie for that episode. Comes from the USA. Yeah. Now, I will come back at this and say that every episode does have timestamps in the description. I work very hard, as in I take 10 minutes out of each time to find those timestamps. Maybe you're just listening to old episodes, but if you guys are listening right now and didn't know about the timestamps, we do have timestamps in each.
We have timestamps
in the show notes, so check those out. But hey, thank you, Button Smash.
Thank you for saying you enjoy the movie talk.
Yeah,
though.
that I'm taking this as a compliment.
Yeah, I also would like to say that these are not inside jokes. These are jokes usually referencing something from other podcasts.
Yeah.
Because I would say that over the last year and a half, 95% of the conversations I've had with Karsten have been
on the podcast. We really don't have that many inside jokes.
No.
They're all podcast related. And if you're out of the joke, that means you didn't listen to all the episodes.
You got to listen to every single one.
Yeah.
Or you're going to miss something.
You're going to miss something really great. So yeah, thanks for that. Next,
something really great, and it's like that thing that's really great in quotations is me talking about how your time was faster than the Olympic record swimming times from like the 40s.
That's really great stuff.
I'm like, gold medalist from 1948, Karsten Rundquist.
Yeah.
Someone's like, I don't understand that.
What's with the inside jokes? He's clearly not an Olympic gold medalist.
He's clearly not a gold medalist from the 40s.
Yeah.
That was my grandfather.
Next, we'd like to thank the patrons who, really love our inside jokes. So much so that they wanted to support us on a monthly basis on Patreon at patreon.com/Karstcast. Yeah, if you guys do love this episode and want to hear more from us, check out the Patreon. It's a great way to support us and support a free podcast. Yeah,
it is free. Another thing to support would be if you love Karsten specifically. He has a YouTube channel, so check that out.
It's He had
a great video recently about going to the movies alone.
Yeah, did you watch that one?
No, I didn't.
All right, well,
but I will.
You don't have to watch it. This is a great place to go to support Jeff and I and help us improve the podcast by raising money to get new gear, which we are working to do.
I'm getting a very expensive microphone when I get back to the U.S.
I can tell you that
fully
much.
Funded
by
fully
the
funded
lovely patrons.
by the patrons.
You get bonus episodes, Q&As, Zoom hangouts, shout-outs at the end of every episode like we're about to get into, and anything else that comes to mind. Just tons of cool perks and extra things that you guys get for being patrons and supporting the podcast. So without any further ado, thank you, Alex Thomas, Antonio DeMarco, Blake Root, Boat, Brandon Yu, Brock Schultz, Camilla, Chuck the Duck, Daniel Cook, David Sir, Eden, Gavin Henderson, Harry Remedianakis, Iva, Jane Easton, John Van Hout, Jordan Hill, Judy S., Karsten Do a Backflip, KDT, Liv Rob, Lukewarm, Martin Duff, Marilee Borslow, Meridian, Michael Rennie, Monroe Page, Nora B. Parks, Riley Ost, Skylar Ermel, Sophia Arieta, Stella Perry, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, Smitty Werbin, Jagerman Jensen, Tom Likes Beans, Vegard Strom, Vera S., Was the Monopoly Man, Am Now the Monopoly Shrimp, Wes Kinley, Xavier Fossier, Yusef A., and Zoe Hernandez McDonald. Got your name right
Zoe.
this time, Zoe.
Yeah.
And that's gonna do for the episode. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm just gonna wrap it up right now because we gotta let our boy.
I gotta go.
Karsten
Eat
go to the. He's gotta go to the
Oreos.
fair. Which honestly, send me that picture of the Oreo.
Oh, I will. I absolutely will.
I'm looking forward to it.
I can't wait to see
Have a good time, Karsten.
Minnesota's largest hog at the fair, because you know that hog is gonna be there.
Catch you on the hog side.
Catch you on the hog side.
Hog side.